Early films, primarily westerns, Euro-Americans viewed Indians as bloodthirsty savages, among other stereotypes. Blueback was very helpful and friendly towards the Euro-Americans, although he was always making jokes and not taken very seriously. Similar to Blueback in Drums Along the Mohawk, other sympathetic Indians in films like Dances with Wolves and Last of the Mohicans help Euro-Americans in their struggles on the frontier. Similarities can be seen in Thunderheart as well. These movies are very sympathetic towards Native Americans. By this, they show Indian culture and real Indian actors, but do not at times accurately portray Indian culture and even bring in old stereotypes.
Tatanka.
No, I haven't seen any buffalo. Sorry. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? I have food. I have a lot of food.
Yeah.
Nothing I've been told about these people is correct. They are not beggars and thieves. They are not the boogeymen they have been made out to be. On the contrary, they are polite guests and have a familiar humor I enjoy.
In Dances with Wolves, the Sioux teach Dunbar how to be an Indian, and as a result, Dunbar leaves his Euro-American ways behind him. In this film, Indians are seen very much as the supportive friend roles, like Kicking Bird and Wind in His Hair. Thunderheart is about a half-blood Native American FBI agent named Ray Lavoie, played by Val Kilmer, who ventures on to a reservation in South Dakota trying to solve a murder. He there finds his Indian identity, as Sam Pack calls it. Pack is a writer and studies Indian films. He explains how Lavoie finds his Indian culture with the help of many of the natives on the reservation, including Walter Crowhorse, played by Graham Greene. Lavoie did not consider himself an Indian. They helped him confront his heritage and help him understand his culture. In many of the more modern native-made films, Indians help each other and/or Euro-American people. In Harold of Orange, Harold and his brothers of Orange use humor and their trickster abilities to help themselves, but yet make it feel as though the Euro-Americans are also in benefit. Similarly, in Medicine River, Will Sampson returns home where he grew up many years before, and there he regains his native ways with the help of the native tricksters, as well as from his friend Louise and her daughter Southwind. Another example is in Smoke Signals. In Smoke Signals, Thomas and Victor have a special bond. They do not exactly understand each other in the beginning of the film, but when they go on a road trip from Idaho to Arizona to pick up Victor's deceased father's ashes, they both learn a lot about their culture and each other as well.
You know, Thomas, I don't know what you're talking about half the time. Why is that?
I don't know.
I mean, you just go on and on talking about nothing. Why can't you have a normal conversation? You're always trying to sound like some damn medicine man or something. I mean, how many times have you seen Dances with Wolves? 100, 200? Oh, jeez. You have seen it that many times, haven't you? Don't you even know how to be a real Indian?
I guess not.
Oh, shit, no wonder. Jeez. I guess I'll have to teach you then, ain't it? First of all, quit grinning like an idiot. Indians ain't supposed to smile like that. Get stoic. No. Like this. You gotta look mean or people won't respect you. White people will run all over you if you don't look mean. You gotta look like a warrior. You gotta look like you just came back from killing a buffalo.
But our tribe never hunted buffalo. We were fishermen.
What? You wanna look like you just came back from catching a fish? This ain't Dances with Salmon, you know. Thomas, you gotta look like a warrior. There. That's better. And second, you gotta know how to use your hair.
My hair?
Yeah, I mean, look at your hair. It's all braided up and stuff. You gotta free it. An Indian man ain't nothing without his hair. And last, you gotta get rid of that suit, Thomas. You just have to.
This scene is important for the two friends. Thomas learns about his native roots, and Victor over the trip learns about himself and his family. The two friends need each other and are great companions over their journey. Due to these bad stereotypes seen in the older Western films, Euro-Americans typically have a less understanding of Native culture. The Helpful Indian aids in that process for Euro-Americans to understand the Native culture. This solution is also a problem. It is still seen that Natives only help Euro-Americans, which is clearly not the case. It is a stepping stone to the realization for Euro-Americans that Indians are not these stereotypes seen in films. John Mihulich, a researcher and a writer, explains that by teaching the youth the real Indians and their culture, more people have a greater understanding. He sees too often people teach them the old stereotypes, which need to stop. This is why movies like Smoke Signals and other primarily Native-made films are important to seeing the full picture of who Native Americans really are. In order to watch a movie, it must be appealing. Smoke Signals appeals to many groups of people. Mihulich also explains this appealing factor that Smoke Signals has. He explains that even though the protagonists are Native American, they show characteristics that people can relate to through their experiences of tragedy and comedy. They are helpful to viewers both Euro-American and non-Euro-American. Both Native-made and Hollywood films use the friendly Indian to help others understand Indian culture. The more that people can see that the friendly Indian is not just a tool to the enlightenment of the Native culture, but friendly Indians are actual people, then they can understand Native culture more clearly.